Okay, in this video, we are going to look at how to use the quiz feature of Google Forms to create online quizzes. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set up your survey or the questions that you're going to be asking in your quiz. So right here, we've got some multiple choice questions that we've added on photosynthesis. So to turn this into a quiz, you want to go to the settings link at the top right and go to the quizzes tab. Then you want to just toggle the switch that says make this a quiz. So that's all there is to it. Now these survey questions are set up as a quiz. So you can release the grade immediately after each submission or later after manual review. The other options you have are missed questions, so to show the questions that were missed. Also show the correct answers for the questions. And then we have point value to show the point value. So once we have our options selected that we want, we are going to select Save. And now when we look at the questions, you see that we can now create an answer key. So by selecting this in the bottom left corner of our question, select answer key. So now we can go and we can choose the correct answer by selecting it, and we can also set a point value. So in this case, we'll make each one of these worth 5 points. And we select the correct answer and set our point value. So now we have our answer key. So when we go through here, we have the correct answers, and it'll provide the feedback to the user once they've submitted their form. They'll get the correct answers, or if they selected any wrong ones, they will get they'll point out which ones they've got wrong. So you can also add answer feedback. So by selecting this down here where it says add answer feedback, you can choose the feedback for an incorrect answer. Let's say and we can choose feedback for the correct answer. Then say if we had a link that we wanted to provide for more information, we could select this right here. Here we'll pull up an article on photosynthesis. And if we want to provide this link, we just select it, copy the link. We go back to our quiz, and then right here where we see the link down at the bottom, we can paste our URL there, and then type a little explanation. And select add, and now we have a link. So if we click save, see right here that when they get the answer correct, it'll also give them this link that will take them to the page on photosynthesis. All right, so once we have our questions in our quiz, we can move the questions around. Select edit question. We select these 6 dots, and then we can move the questions around. We can also choose if this is a required question by selecting the toggle switch in the bottom right corner. Some of the options we have, we can show a description if we want to write a description. And we can go to a section based on answer. So this is for branching. If we want to send them to different sections, once they answer a question a certain way, we can choose this section. We'll go over this in future lessons, but this is how we do branching. And then you can shuffle the option order. So the order of the answers, you can shuffle that. You can also duplicate a question instead of having to create it from scratch. Just duplicate it and then change the text. And if you want to remove a question, you can select the delete option here, and that'll put it in the trash. So let's look at the responses and how you see the responses on quizzes and how you will grade those. So you click up in the response tab. You can see a summary of all the responses. It shows us the total number of responses. At this point, it's 18. We can select summary, and we can see a summary of all those responses. Some graphs. If you want to see the individual questions, you can select question. And you'll see the individual questions, and to move through those, you just select the next, the previous buttons here. You can also see individual responses. So if you want to see each one of the 18 responses individually, you would select that and then just move through next response and previous response. You can also view the sheet for the responses. So we can open up the Google Sheet and see all the responses in there. So open this. And you see that we have the Google Sheet with all the responses up to this point. So for some of the additional options that you have, you can get an email notification of new responses. You can select the response destination. So if you want to select a different sheet for the response to go into, you can do that there. You can also unlink this form from the existing sheet. You can download the responses into a CSV file. You can print out all the responses, and you can delete all the responses. So those are the additional options that you have. And that is how to create a quiz in Google Forms. Hey everyone, in this short video, we looked at how to create a quiz in Google Forms. Make sure to check out our other videos in the series on using Google Forms.